Okay, welcome back to the podcast. Claudia sent us, well, I don't know if she sent it to you, Mom.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
She sent Kennedy and I a montage video that a fan made of all the like funny moments that Claudia had. First off, Claudia loved this video.
It was hilarious.
Why did you send it to me?
Because I just sent it to Brandon and Kenny. I feel like they would like, I don't know.
It was all the funny, well, you weren't in it. That's probably why.
Oh.
It's all the funny moments that like Claudia's ever had from the old videos and stuff. And it was actually really hilarious. I was watching it.
That was only some of them.
Yeah, props to this fan who makes these TikToks because they put a lot of effort in to go and sift through that content. I know how hard that is because we've made like videos using a whole bunch of like past content. You got to sift through all of it. So props to them. That takes a lot of work to download all those videos and edit through all those videos. But that video was hilarious. If you're listening, you should go search it. Just search Claudia Walsh being funny on TikTok and it will probably come up.
I
I'll probably follow the fan account.
You probably
I
do. It's the main one that she always posts.
Yeah, I think I do.
It was really funny. You have a lot of like funny side of you that's probably like suppressed right now because I feel like it comes out during those situations when we're filming the vlog style videos. Yeah, same with you, Kennedy, too. Kennedy goes into like a crazy insane mode. She doesn't even have to be drinking nothing. But like when we're filming and it's just the right time, Kennedy, you like let loose.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm unpredictable to myself.
Today's episode is sponsored by Betterhelp. Halloween lets us have fun with what scares us. But what about those fears that don't involve zombies or ghosts? Therapy is a great tool for facing your fears and finding a way to overcome them. Because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears in the first place and holding ourselves back. Sometimes it's really bad just to hold things in, and sometimes you just need somebody to talk to get it off of your chest. Things like Betterhelp help you to organize your thoughts and have a little bit more clarity when you go throughout life. Therapy isn't just for those who have experienced some sort of trauma. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and fit your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and get matched with a licensed therapist. And you can switch a therapist at any time for no additional charge. Overcome your fears with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/WalshWorld today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/WalshWorld.
Claudia, tell Jesse to come in for a second.
Jesse, come here.
Tell him that last night, me and Scarlett watched the prequel music video and she thought it was insane. And then we watched another Falling in Reverse music video that was also insane and we were vibing over it.
Proud of you.
That's Jesse's favorite artist, by the way, Falling in Reverse.
Ronnie, since you're watching this, what's up, homie?
Maybe his daughter is or something. Does he have a daughter? He does. Okay, maybe his daughter watches us.
I think she's, how old is she, Jesse?
Well, it was funny because I played the song for Scarlett while we were walking, and then I was like, I have to show you the music video because it matches up perfectly with the song. And she was like, when she saw the guy who sang it, she was like, okay, I was wondering if he was gonna like match the visual of the sound, and he actually does. And I was like, yeah, you see him and you're like, okay, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, for those of you listening, Falling in Reverse it's not really like a hardcore rock band, but they're kind of like, it's like a punkish rock, like I think.
Emo.
Yeah, emo-ish. Something Kennedy would never listen to.
Well, that's not necessarily true because their song, if you listen to the song Prequel, which in my opinion, out of all their music I've heard, is by far their best.
It's a really good song.
Which is new. It's such a motivating song that like I listen to it when I'm walking or when I'm doing whatever outside, and it's just like, it's very motivating.
Well, yeah, they all start very slow and then they build up until it becomes like really, really intense. So it's kind of like a cinematic trailer where it starts like quiet and builds up. I'm pretty sure I have, yeah.
It's their newest one.
I used to listen to all of them when I lifted.
Jesse has definitely played it when they've worked out together.
Yeah, that's like the go-to when we're downstairs working. He'll probably play it today when we're working out.
It really does make you
feel
motivated when you're working out. If there's like, if I can't get into like a good song or find a good person to listen to in that moment and everything's annoying me, I just put that on and it actually like makes you it's not annoying.
Literally
music.
same.
Speaking of working out, I think I'm going to release Superhuman public beta end of this month or beginning of November.
Wow.
Finally.
Aww.
So
it's a miracle.
Brandon, you should do it when I'm home so that we could all celebrate together.
Well, maybe I'll wait until Halloween. You're coming here. Are you coming here for Halloween?
No, I don't think so.
Loser.
She's not coming here until like November.
November what?
I'm not coming till
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. That's a long time.
Yeah. So which one of you wants to come up and get me?
I
Not me.
probably am not
Why-
going to have a choice.
Why did somebody have to come up and get you? You can't hitchhike?
Because I have the cats.
If you hitchhiked, you would have such an easy
You
time.
need to get a rental car and drive down.
I don't want to do that.
I know Dakota's going to say she'll do it. So.
When I have family who loves me that can just come and pick me up.
I gotta say, I would do it if I had to. I personally I hate driving in New York after somebody bumped into my ass. That was terrible.
yeah.
They bumped into you?
Yeah, they bumped into me. No, not my actual ass, my car's ass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because people are...
And I was just like,
Yeah.
I didn't even want to pull over. There was so much traffic. I'm just like, you
They
just have to deal
drive
with
so
it.
nuts. Speaking of people driving
They
nuts,
do.
today we were leaving Towson because we went there to meet with our wedding photographer, and on the way back, Jesse cut someone off by accident, obviously, like who would do that on purpose? And the guy was screaming out of his window, like he had veins coming out of his forehead. He was
Jesus.
so angry and was like throwing his hand around. I was like, anyone that can get that mad over someone accidentally cutting them off, like you have serious problems.
Well, there's serious problems all over the world right now. So
Well, I think there's
You know-
heightened problems because of the like the election and everything. There's so much
definitely.
polarization
Yes,
that
but
it
it's just
bleeds
like-
off into people's
Yeah.
personal lives and they like start hating everything.
It's like that is like I told Jesse, I was like, listen, yeah, obviously it's like never fun when something like that happens to you, but like that man just ruined his own day by acting like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like,
Well, we all know what type of man that man is. He's
and that used to happen to
clearly
me.
not.
That would happen to me in Towson all the time. Like I remember somebody literally like rolled down his window and gave me the finger because I pulled up at a light that was green for me and didn't leave him space in front of me to turn, but there was space behind me for him to turn. But he didn't like that I didn't wait for him to go even though I had the right of way. So he gave me the finger.
Well, here's a question for you because I think this is pretty interesting. Do you think in the future, if there were two options, one, humans didn't drive at all, so your car just drove you around itself, or humans were able to drive and they're still like basically you either you're not able to drive whatsoever, something drives for you, or you still have permission to drive. Which
No.
one would you rather choose if you had to choose one of the extremes?
I would definitely choose that we have self-driving cars or like a track that the cars go
Yeah.
on the road that like you
Yeah.
go at the same speed because I'm sure some people were like, oh, but like I drive faster than everyone else. So I would prefer it this way. But if we had a track that everyone, like when you pull out of your driveway, your car goes onto this track and everyone goes the same speed, we would have no traffic. There'd be no
Well,
accidents.
people would find reasons
road
to like have
rage.
still anger, but
Yes, I'm sure, but like it would just everything would go so much smoother. Like every destination you go to would be that specific amount of time that it takes you to get there. Like you never have to worry about if there's a traffic jam or a car accident that's going to stop you from getting there. You could plug it into your GPS and hit go, and your car would just take you to where you're going. Like,
Well,
how
yeah,
nice
the
would
scary
that
thing
be?
about driving is that if you're in a really terrible mood, it's going to bleed off
yeah,
into
I
your
feel like
driving
a lot
and
of
affect other people.
they should go through like a test in the morning of whether they're allowed to have the privilege to drive
Oh,
that
if
day.
they're like really angry,
Yeah.
they take a test on their phone. It like scans your
Yeah,
eyes.
did you have your
They
morning?
take a test. People should take a test every day of, are you allowed to go out into society today? No, you're too angry. No, you're too depressed.
Go lock yourself in the
Literally.
basement.
No, but then some people would just like never leave their house, and that's not good either.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better for people to get out. Sometimes people need to stay home and take a
I
day
That
think-
sounds
off.
like a dystopian movie at that point. You cannot leave your house unless you're in a really happy mood. and then everyone's
Sounds
so
like a
stressed
Black
out
Mirror
about being
episode.
happy
That
that
no one's
happy.
I wouldn't leave. I don't leave my house if I don't have to. If I'm in a mood.
No, I just really think that the car thing, I think people should stop driving at some point in the near future because it's way too
I
dangerous.
sent you that
The
thing on
amount
the
of
taxis, the helicopter taxis, like the drone taxis that are going to be going to the airport in New York and California. They've already like approved them. So instead of taking like an Uber, you get to take a helicopter for the same price as a black
They kind of have that
Uber.
now. The main difference between that one is that it's going to probably be cheaper because it's more of like a quadcopter, like how the
Yeah.
drones are.
Yep.
But right now you can take a, Kenny, if you ever flew,
can take a regular
if you ever
helicopter.
flew from like here to New York, you can then take a helicopter that lands closer to your apartment and it's fairly cheap.
Where the it land?
It lands on
roof somewhere.
rooftops and parking garages and stuff. And it said that in New York, instead of, you know how it takes 45 minutes to an hour to get from Manhattan to Brooklyn, it'll take 7 minutes.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. I would do that because I would feel pretty
I would love
safe.
that. Imagine if they were like, meet at this location on this rooftop at this time. You go there, everything goes right onto the helicopter. You get flown to your destination, get off, and you're right where you need to be.
Well, that's what technology does.
Yeah.
It takes things that are only
That's
accessible.
what rich people do.
Yeah, well, that's what technology does. It takes things that are only accessible to the richest people in the world,
Yes,
and it makes it
but
accessible to
this
everyone.
is not just for rich, Kennedy. This is for people, like if you can afford a black Uber, then that's what the cost is going to be for these things.
Uber Blacks are pretty damn expensive sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, they are.
Like $250.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it depends.
I remember that you said you took one when you went to the Hamptons in New York from here, which is insane to take an Uber that far. And
Right.
they took an Uber Black. Wasn't it like $800?
Right.
It was $1,000.
Right.
$1,000. But that's a long ride. That's like 4 hours.
No, but actually,
still.
it wasn't like an Uber Black. It was an Uber driver, but he did it like off Uber.
And you paid him? Did you pay him in cash?
It was like over Venmo or something, but the company that I was going with paid for it.
I have to say, there's nothing nicer than when you get picked up in an Uber and it's super clean and it's like a big Suburban and you have a ton of room and you have the captain's chairs. Because sometimes when we used to get picked up, I would be in the back. I would have to sit in the back and my knees are like this. And you get out and you can barely walk.
Yeah, no, you guys would make me and whoever's the smallest sit in the very, very back.
Well, you are pretty tiny. You're all compact.
We had no space.
Well, that's like plane seats. Like I am someone who obviously I fit perfectly fine in a plane seat, but there are so many like taller men or even women that I'm like, these seats are not made for everyone. They are way too small. Like they're so it's like there was a time where I sat in the middle seat and I was between two like large men and these poor guys are like crunched up in a ball with their knees touching the seat in front of them, and I'm like, this is not like, you pay so much for these plane tickets and then you're forced to sit and like suffer for 3, 4, 5 hours.
Yeah, when you see like a really like big guy, either whether
They also
go ahead.
they have the privilege of being able to walk alone at night, so it's a balance.
I mean, you can still get mugged. You can still get mugged.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
my
still
dad
go-
got
Nobody's
mugged.
gonna mug a man that looks like a football player.
Well, maybe not a football player, but like if you saw me, let's say you're a mugger, Kennedy. Let's envision this for a
Oh
second.
yeah, I absolutely would mug you.
You're a mugger. Yeah, you're a big dude. Maybe you're like 6'5", and you've been mugging your whole life, so you really got the whole mugging thing down. And you saw me walking, would you mug me?
I probably think you didn't have that much money.
What the why? What?
Because the way
You
you
wear
dress.
sweatpants every day.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Well,
a lot
today
of people
his
wear
outfit looks good. The other day when we
I'm
went
so
to Dad's, your outfit was.
Okay. Okay. I don't understand fashion at all because
Do you know who wears sweatpants
how is
every
this
day?
fine? I'm just wearing black.
You know
Yes.
who wears sweatpants every day? Ron Jeremy. You know who he is?
The
Mom,
news anchor.
Mom, don't tell people that you still watch Ron Jeremy. Okay?
I don't watch him. I met him. I had
You're
to body
sick.
paint 3 people
You're sick.
in his
Is he a
presence.
news anchor? He's a
Star with like a 12-inch.
sounds like a news anchor name.
But,
Anyway.
but the point is he's got a lot of money and he wears sweatpants every day.
Who
Yeah, he's
cares about
famous for
him?
his big.
No,
Yeah.
the thing is today your outfit looks good because it matches, it goes together, it looks like a set that came together. The other day he's wearing a light purple Gymshark baseball jersey thing that's like half buttoned up with off-white pants, black socks, his filthy white Crocs that have dirt all over them and are worn down to nearly have a hole in the bottom. And I don't remember what
Hey.
else.
That sounds fine.
That's homeless
It was
core.
not. It
Brandon,
didn't match.
I gotta say, you're a great person, Brandon, but you have never really known how to dress yourself.
Yeah, because
No, that's not true because I've
I
seen
don't
you dress
no,
really nice.
I just don't prioritize it. I know what I should wear in order to dress
Yes,
nice.
but how
I don't
simple is it to
prioritize
just pick out 2 things that are the
I'll
same
be honest.
color?
When I wake up in the morning, it's not even like really a thought in my head. It's just like, okay,
You don't
that
have
looks
to
good.
wear
I'll put
things
that
that are
on.
the
That looks
same
good. I'll
color.
put
You can
that on.
tell. You can tell.
It just doesn't.
You can
That
tell
must
that you don't
be-
really
Half the
look
time
in
I'm sitting
mirror.
in my office and no one sees me all day.
Don't listen to them.
No, that must be
Listen,
some
Brandon.
sort of.
I wish that I had your level of I do not care how people perceive me. It's a prison caring so much about how you look.
Yeah, no, it is.
Listen, I don't care
Free
that
yourself,
much, but
Kennedy.
I at least care enough to just wear clothes that like match. Like they can be sweatpants. but at least I just make sure they
Sometimes-
match.
Okay, what? Okay.
I don't think
Hold
they
on.
need to be the
What's the
same
purpose of
color.
clothes? Why do we wear clothes?
To cover your naked body,
No, that's not the only purpose.
What else?
to keep you
To
warm.
express yourself.
Look fashionable.
Okay, how is what you're wearing expressing yourself right now?
Well, I chose this shirt. I bought it because I chose to buy it.
What does it mean? What does it mean to you?
It means that it's not going to be on my body today, and then it's going to go back in my closet.
And what's the shirt doing?
Covering her naked body.
It's making her look like this little sailor.
Yeah. It's giving me a vibe. It's giving me a subconscious vibe that's sitting in your brain and affecting how you perceive me and how you treat me and talk to me.
Well, Kendi, I could say, okay, you're wearing a boat shirt and you're wearing a Yankees cap. Those two things don't go together whatsoever.
No,
so
they're
she's
both-
not
they both
matching.
have blue
Why
and
isn't she
white.
wearing a
That's not
boating
true.
cap? Where's her boating cap?
It's blue
Or
and
where's her
white.
baseball
That's
jersey?
not true. That's not true.
She's gonna go. She's gonna go out on the water.
Baseball players have boats because they're rich.
I was gonna say she's gonna go out on the water and she's gonna go watch a baseball game.
Okay, I'm just gonna claim when I'm wearing something that doesn't make any sense to somebody, I'm gonna say I'm expressing myself creatively. Okay,
Fine,
these
fine.
Crocs represent 2
what you
years
should
of
say.
hardcore lifting and abuse. This baseball jersey, I really don't care about baseball, but
Brayden, the
I'm
thing
representing
is,
America.
It's just because
Right,
I
Mom?
know the capability
agree.
that you have to look decent, and you don't take advantage of that capability.
I think
Instead,
Brandon
you wear
looks
things.
decent all the time.
He wears.
Thanks, Mom.
His outfit the other day. I am so sorry. It was not decent.
I wouldn't probably
It
say
was.
that.
It was.
Listen, a mother's never gonna speak negatively about her son.
That's
Yeah.
not true.
I think
I
Mom
know a
just has
lot
the
of
best.
mothers that
Mom,
speak negatively.
Mom clearly has the best fashion sense here.
Yeah, but
I think
also
that's
when-
undeniable.
I just think not judging from clothing is.
I'm not judging him. He's my brother. I know him, so I don't need to judge him. I'm just telling him that he has better potential than to wear
Yeah, see, that's the
mismatched
thing.
clothes.
Is if I saw a random guy wearing one of the outfits Brandon wears in New York, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense because he lives in Brooklyn and he's probably like, artistic and stuff. It's just funny.
Brandon's
because-
artistic.
No, you're
What?
not. It's because he wakes up. I know what he does. He wakes up. He
Yeah.
picks up 2 pieces of clothes off the floor out of the dryer that he hasn't folded yet.
Sometimes, yeah.
And
Not every time.
He doesn't look into the mirror. He doesn't care what they look like. He just puts on clothes to cover himself because he wants to go downstairs in his office and start
That's
coding.
fine. If he's going out to
Yeah.
dinner,
No,
like
But
he
listen,
would
I have
put something
another
together.
thing to say. And then Kate tells me that the other night they were going out to dinner, and she gets in the car and she's wearing heels, and he's literally in mismatched sweatpants. And she was like, "What is happening?"
Okay, where were you going?
See, that's the thing.
Out to dinner at
And you-
what's
I
that
don't
place
think-
that we went to that one time?
Did you not talk about it, whether you guys were going to dress up or
I
not
usually dress up when we go out. For some reason that day, I just didn't feel like dressing up.
Clothes have a big psychological impact on my mood and how I'm and my day. So for me, whatever outfit I'm wearing that day isn't just something to cover my body, unless I'm not feeling good or something. But to me, it's always a very conscious decision of many different factors in my head. And I think there's more of a psychological effect to what you wear every day
Yeah.
than a lot of people
Absolutely.
realize.
When
No,
you
I've
wear
heard
gym
that. It's why when people go to an office, they're wearing like
or
a
you wear
suit
gym
and tie.
clothes all the time, you want to work out.
Yeah, but when I get dressed, sometimes I literally put on an outfit that most people would think is fine, but I'm like, I don't feel good in this. Like, it doesn't look good to me. Something about it's off or doesn't feel like me. So I literally have to change. Otherwise, I won't
But that's your mood.
enjoy
that's just
my
what
workout.
you feel like.
I will look in the mirror at the gym and be like, ew, I hate this outfit. It'll ruin everything.
You know what I might do? I got a happy medium here. How about every single day I just wear an all black outfit, and then on certain days or nights or whatever, when we're doing something that's a little bit more fancy, I'll whip out my fancy outfits.
So then you just
Of,
have
like,
a
3
uniform for the morning, uniform
Yeah.
for the day, and a
No,
uniform
you just
for the
That's
need
why
to go-
kids who have uniforms
No,
in
this is
private
what you
school, they
need
don't even
to
have
do.
to think about putting clothes
This is
on.
what you need to do. You need to go through your clothes, pair on hangers, a shirt and pants that go together, hang them all up. Then every morning you just grab the next hanger and you already know that it goes
I
together.
do that. My closet is organized. It's just that I'm not really conscious of
doesn't
what colors I'm putting on.
matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm
Brandon,
gonna change the
hold
topic.
up.
Do any of you watch Love is Blind?
Wait, I thought
We
what the f- is
started
another love
watching
show?
it, but I haven't gotten into it.
There's
but
too many love shows. I'm sick of this.
new season.
Cancel all
No,
of them.
I had never. No, listen, I had never
Yeah, I've
seen
seen
this
it.
one because I don't really like the reality dating shows. I've watched Love Island and Too Hot to Handle, and it's like entertaining, but it's so mindless and it makes you feel so like, yeah. Anyways, we decided to watch Love is Blind, and we watched the whole new season. I had never seen it before and didn't even know like what it entailed, but it is crazy.
I know.
It's the one where they have them behind the curtains,
Yeah.
right? And they talk to
The
them
pod.
Yeah,
first.
you basically they fall in love in like a week through just talking through a wall.
Right.
And then once you get engaged, then you meet face to face and they have you
Right.
walk down this awkwardly long runway.
It's
I've
so
seen them.
awkward.
I've seen them where they
They
don't
were
like the way they
so-
look.
There were so many awkward moments that like it's genuinely painful to watch sometimes, but the ones that end up actually like getting along and have a real connection and also end up vibing physically too. Because let's be honest, it doesn't matter if you fall in love with someone's brain. If you see them and you have a slight image of something in your brain and then you see them and it doesn't go with that, it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't understand is like when you watch the preview and stuff, all the guys and girls are always saying like, "Oh, this is the best way to find love. Like it's proven to work," and they're so confident in it, and then they go into it, and don't you have to marry somebody like in
You're
3
supposed
days?
to.
How the what
Basically,
the
you
who-
get
who
proposed
invented
to
this?
through the wall. You get proposed to through the wall. And then you can say yes. And if you say yes, then you meet face to face. And then they take all the couples on like a trip to Cabo. And then they get married. And then they like intertwine you with your families and stuff. And it's just so, first of all, so bizarre. It's literally a social experiment. I mean, all of these shows are. But
Yeah,
like this one
obviously.
specifically
It's
is just literally feels like you're watching rats in a maze.
I was
it's
literally gonna say it reminds me of the rat experiments.
It's better than the one that Brandon had us watch, that one where they come out and all they show is the bottom half of them naked, and then you just pick
Oh my
penis or
God.
vagina, and then they show the boobs, and then they show the
that's
face
insane.
last.
This is a show. I cannot believe this exists.
Yeah.
You basically date based on the bottom up. So they just show the feet, and then you like eliminate some people, and then they raise it up to the point where it gets to your
Genitals.
yeah. And then
Listen,
they,
I
and
am
then-
someone who
like what?
I'm someone who I really don't like. I prioritize an emotional connection with someone over physical, but I fully believe that you have to have a physical connection, or else it's just going to be a friendship. I feel like a romantic relationship or romantic partnership is literally a combination of them being your best friend and also you looking at them and wanting to be physical with them. So it's like, I don't know. I guess like sometimes it works. There's like always the chance that it's going to work, but there's so many of them that meet and you can tell like they're trying. A lot of the women, it seems like, try to convince themselves that they are like attracted to the man, and then they start like causing issues or their toxicity comes out. And it's like a lot of these people are just so immature and not ready to like be in a serious relationship. It's just so interesting.
I feel like you need to
like,
get
see how it unfolds.
Yeah, I feel like you need to get more immature people to be on those kind of shows. Otherwise, it's gonna be freaking boring.
Well, listen, if you sign up to be on a show where you're going to meet someone and propose to them within however many days,
I mean, that's ridiculous.
that's already a red flag.
Here's my
Right.
question: Do they do they really think they're gonna find someone?
Yes,
Genuinely.
a lot of times
Yes.
they do.
No, a lot of them go into this with like they genuinely want to find love, and a lot of them are in their 30s and they feel like they've tried everything else. Or one of the guys was like, I have been too focused on work my whole life and it just hasn't like found me and I have a hard time, blah blah blah. And in this last season they're all from DC, so it's like,
Oh, I was wondering that because I think
yeah.
they picked them all from the same area, but we haven't watched much of this season. I think we watched season 6, which was the one right before it. And it was just like, by the end of it, it was so much chaos. Like everyone was breaking up. This one couple was being so mean to each other because they broke up. Then the one guy at the reunion went for another girl instead, brought her, and like, it was just
I mean, to
horrible.
me, it's fascinating. They can make so many shows about love, so many different types of shows about love, because that is what people are mostly focused on, is finding like the one or
Yep.
finding like that relationship.
Literally.
It's like we're
And
all so like weirdly focused on it. It's
yeah,
unhealthy.
because it's human nature. No, it's human nature. Like I truly believe that there are a few things that humans are meant to do in this world, and one of them is love and be loved.
Wait, can I tell you guys my dream? It was funny.
Oh my God, I had such a cool dream too.
My dream was that we went to, do you remember the bagel place in Westminster? I think it was Einstein's.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Einstein's. It was called something else, but I know what.
But it was on that corner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, in my dream, we went to that place. I don't know how in my head I remembered that place, but we went there, and it was one woman working, and she took all of our orders, and it was like we were sitting there for like 2 hours waiting for our bagels, and we were so pissed off because we were like, this woman's literally lying, saying she's like making them, and she's not. And it was literally us
Probably
four.
happened.
And we got so mad. I was like, you can just like give us our money back. Like, we don't need the food. And then she like got all angry that I said that. And like other people were in there waiting for their food, and no one was getting their food, and everyone was getting pissed off. And we ended up leaving. And I was like, we can just go down the street to like Johansson's or something. Like, I don't know how I was remembering these things, because that place is down the street.
Yeah, I used to take you when you were in your stroller. Listen to my dream. I had a dream that we warped back in time, and it was before anything was built. So it was like a lot of land and a lot of like, and I was seeing Baltimore like from like way long ago, before they had like all these buildings built. And like, and we went to different areas like New York, and it was just the weirdest thing. We just kept warping. I'm like, we need to warp back, because this is just strange. Why would I dream that?
Claudia,
kind of
Kendi, and I didn't want to tell you this, but this is actually the dream. That was the real. That's your real life. This is the dream. Yeah.
Why are you holding my ghost pillow?
It's my comfort animal. Okay. don't judge me. Do you want to say something to the podcast?
Stop squeezing his eyes.
You want to say something to the podcast, buddy?
We can't hear you.
You guys hear him?
No.
I was watching. Have you ever seen Unsolved?
The blonde woman is so mean to the curly-headed man.
Who's the curly-headed man?
Jesse.
Cory.
Does Jesse have curly hair? You have curly hair?
Yes. What do you mean?
I guess it's curly.
What do you think? It's straight?
It's like in between. Sometimes it seems straight. Sometimes it seems curly.
His hair is curly. Very curly.
Maybe I'm used to him wearing a hat.
He gets like ringlet curls.
See, there's a curl
That's
right here.
not a curl. That's like
a curl.
Little fried piece of hair.
What was I going to say? Anyway.
You got wavy hair, and Brandon, if you say you have curly hair, the curly hair police is going to come for you.
Who the
has
curly
one
hair
hair
police?
sticking out because that's his twirl hair.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has
the
a
same thing,
twirl
okay?
hair.
We all inherited this weird
Everyone has a twirl hair in this family.
It's when I'm in deep thought.
At least I dig in the back and get the soft pieces. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, because your hair's fried.
No, it's not.
No, it's not anymore.
She has to dig for the alive hair.
I dig for my natural hair in the back.
What was I going to say? Oh, have you ever seen Unsolved?
Oh,
I've heard of it.
yes.
No, it's not BuzzFeed Unsolved. It's Unsolved on like Netflix or something. It's basically ghost stories and all this kind of stuff. They're like unsolved cases. There was this one guy. I watched one with Kate because we were just curious. But there was this one guy who apparently he can like detect ghosts. He has like higher intuition. He can detect ghosts more than other people or something. And this ghost woman Kelly follows him around and like consults with him in order to help him find ghosts.
Wait,
and
a real ghost woman?
This guy, a real ghost woman. This guy basically convinced all of these other conspiracy theorists that he's like this god who can see and feel ghosts. So they take him all around the world.
Did you believe
and
it?
He sits there and when he enters into like energy fields or something, he starts going like it's too much for him to handle. And then those rods that they hold like this to see if they move. He'll go like this. He'll go. And he'll like push one of the rods.
Did you believe it?
I couldn't help but laugh because I was like, this is
you didn't believe
ridiculous.
it
He
at
looked
all.
like a Dragon Ball Z character like launching something out of his hand. And he takes it so seriously. And all these guys are like so obsessed with him. They think he's like a god because
I
he
like
can
those shows.
communicate with
You
these
think he
things and
really
talk to
can or
Kelly.
no?
But
Who's Kelly?
the Kelly is the ghost spirit
she's a
thing.
ghost.
Yes, she consults with him. So he'll be there. He'll be in a room and he'll be like, Kelly, what's
I wanna
here?
watch
And
it.
Kelly will whisper
Wait, but
in his ear and tell him what's in the room.
But isn't that like a hopeful thing to you that feels like maybe even after you die, you'll have a big purpose in life?
Okay, maybe it's like partially true or something. I think that the guy more so has an ego that he's trying to uphold, and he likes when all the other conspiracy theorists are on his. That's
Don't
what
you
I
think
think.
that would be really hard to keep up with?
That's definitely the more likely outcome. I mean, I'm always open to you never know. And I like the idea of stuff like that being true, but like I know deep down I don't truly believe it because it hasn't been proven to me.
Yeah, but don't you think
And
that
I'm just
that is a lot to keep up with on his end all the time?
Yes.
he could
Mom,
be really
you don't
he
understand.
could be really smart.
Some people are so intelligent and narcissistic that they're willing to go on with something their entire life to uphold it, because if it were to collapse, they would collapse.
I would think that would be so
If
exhausting.
you were a ghost, would you want to just float around some dude? For the
And
rest
also,
of
they
That's what
might
I was
start
thinking
to
too.
believe-
That's,
No.
Why did she choose this man? Like, why did Kelly?
They also they might start to believe their own lies in a way, and like
Yeah, he's living in the life. But also there's
Convince
if he's
themselves.
not lying and he really does hear this Kelly girl, maybe like you only get one purpose when you die, and that's her one purpose.
I don't want a purpose when I die.
Well, listen how she
Or
died.
or she found someone
This is how she said she died.
or she found someone that she can connect to that actually can hear her because no one else can.
Well, maybe this is how she died. Apparently, I don't think they could ever actually track if this was a real person or not. But she was in a plane with her 2 kids, and the plane crashed, and now she's just floating around.
So I wonder, did she send him to any of her family members to tell them that she's still alive?
She's just his bitch.
Wait, what happened to the plane?
She's like literally a ghost bitch.
It crashed.
Like that's
Right?
another thing. That's a good point, Claudia. Why isn't Kelly being like, his name was Don? Hey Don, are my kids okay? Is my family okay?
Maybe he has.
She doesn't do that.
She is.
Dude, and it was so funny because she would say something and he would have like 4 recorders in his hand like this, because it's always completely like pitch black wherever
Can
he
you
is.
hear anything?
Well, he would record it, and then so it would say like, he would be like, Kelly, are they here? And he would be like, she said yes. And then apparently he can only hear it on his on a certain frequency that he can hear and no one else can. So, but the recorder from a 1995 recorder can. So he played it back and it would go.
Yeah, but
It would
don't
go.
don't those old recorders, aren't they like known to pick up things that maybe things now can't pick up?
Maybe not. I don't know. Another thing is that he could have like planned a lot of this stuff and is tricking these people. He could be significantly more intelligent
Listen,
than his
is he-
conspiracy theorist friends.
What's
Is
his
he
name?
somehow making money from all of this?
Don.
Of course.
Oh, yeah. They pay him a lot of money to
then
come
here
out.
you go.
Yeah, they pay him to come out to like old buildings, old castles, old whatever, and do his like I don't know if it's like, it's not ghost hunting. It's like paranormal. I don't know.
I feel like
something.
if someone actually could hear ghosts and talk to them like that and was like connected in that way, they wouldn't be wanting to go on these TV shows and like get all this attention. Like that immediately changes the way I see people like that, because I'm like, that feels.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's
I
a
don't know
fine
about
line
that.
between like psychopathy and just tricking people because you want the attention. And maybe he has something that other people don't have that he can't understand, but he's just like exploiting what little he does have to then show it. But Kendi's right. If you really had something like that, why would you want to exploit
I'm trying to
what you
find
have?
him.
I don't know, because
why would you be given a gift like that if you're only going to use it to just make money for
It's
yourself?
not just to make money. That it's not necessarily, well, for him maybe, but I'm thinking of Seatbelt Psychic. That's not just for him to make money. That's like actually like, well,
It is
what it's supposed to
because
be.
he's doing it on a show.
But now
Most
he's doing it on a
things-
show. But you don't know how he came about that show. Maybe somebody said, you should do a show. Let's do a show. And he's just like, okay. Like, and then fell into it. You don't know if he's like, I don't think he's the kind of person that would be like, I want to do this to make money and being greedy about it.
What's
like,
his last name? Do you know?
Which
Look
one?
up Don from Unsolved. Look up Don Becky episode from Unsolved.
His name's Dom Becky.
No, look up Don and then just Becky is the girl. So just type Don.
I thought her name was
Said her name was
Kelly.
Kelly.
Becky.
No,
It's
Kelly's the
Becky.
ghost.
It's Becky.
No wonder
I
I
have bad
can't
name memory.
find her.
It's not Kelly.
Don,
It's Becky.
Don, it's Becky. My bad. Don and
Oh, my
Becky
Lord,
from
Brandon.
Unsolved Mystery episode. You guys should watch it. It's entertaining. But he like tricks all of these paranormal psychologists and stuff.
I think he's tricking you.
I mean, probably. He probably is.
No, you're talking about it for like 10 minutes now. So
I want to hear a ghost
I
whisper
think
in my ear so bad.
Brandon, when are you gonna come visit me again?
When New York roads are not clogged, like an old
That's never.
backed up sewer system.
That's never.
That's a Sunday.
I'll take a helicopter there.
Can I just say,
Can you
real
fly
quick,
me out in a helicopter with your YouTube money?
Don't say that. People think I'm rich.
Guys, she's super rich.
No, she's not.
Do you see all that mound of cash behind her? Look at that gold YouTube plaque. That's real plated gold behind you.
Yup.
I
that
can't
it?
find anything. I was trying to find some like clip of them talking, like him doing his little thing, but
Just watch the episode. It's on Netflix. There's a
I'll
bunch of
watch
them. Yeah, watch it, Candy. Tell me what you think. I want your opinion. I'm going to watch another one because I think they're just generally entertaining. But I want to watch one about aliens. I think aliens are way cooler than ghosts.
What does Kate think about ghosts?
Yeah, me too.
Kate's like border too. I think she just doesn't know. I
just think the likelihood of an alien existing, because also the term alien is such an umbrella term for like an extraterrestrial being. It could be like an organism that we can't see,
Right.
or something that's so small, or something that doesn't look humanoid or doesn't look like a monster.
humanoid.
I love that word. I love the word humanoid.
I just hope there is actually something really crazy that would just shock everyone. Like if it was ever revealed, we would just be like,
Same.
oh my God.
Like
But
an alien
at the same
takeover.
time, I like think it would be shocking, but like there's so many shocking things that have happened since we've been alive that I feel like it wouldn't be like, it would be like something where like, oh my God, and then it would just be like forgotten about, or people would make excuses and say it's fake or something. You know what I mean?
You know, a cool theory, if we were, so just like how you have like cells in your body that comprise your body, if we're just some sort of like cell or thing or part of like a larger organism,
That'd be crazy.
and then that thing's a part of another larger organism, and we're just somewhere in that chain,
I
somewhere
think it's
lost.
so crazy that we have not like figured it out.
We
haven't figured
technically are.
anything
We're
out.
just a big cluster of
really.
cells on a big planet.
Well, actually, we don't know if we figured it out. They could be lying to us. We have no idea what NASA knows.
It's
We
true.
have no idea.
Kennedy following in
How
her
could
father's
you ever
footsteps.
First of all, don't ever say that to me.
That's a trigger for Kennedy. No, listen to this. This is really interesting. So the largest, I was curious, so I looked up what is the largest like ordered object that exists in the entire like universe that we know of. And it's basically these galaxy clusters that are like tied together by these, I don't know what they're called exactly, but it's these giant galaxy clusters that are tied together by gravity. And if you look at like a visual of it, it looks exactly like the neural an image of the neural network inside of your head, where it's just
Wow.
like nodes connected with into other nodes.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's so
wild.
crazy. Like the absolute largest thing that we know of has the same order and pattern of this tiny thing that exists inside of our head.
Yeah, we're just living inside of some
Right. Somebody's
giant's brain.
It could be possible,
Dude,
and
I
the gravity
literally
is what's
think-
holding
That's
that. Yeah.
freaky.
I think that if I'm going to do mushrooms one day, but when I do them, I think I'm going to unlock some secret in my brain that makes sense for me, and after that, I'm going to be fine for like the rest of my life.
Well, okay, so the people that I
My
have
10-year
listened to,
plan, Brandon, my 10-year plan is to do shrooms and then go off all of my medications.
So is your 10-year plans to end up in a mental hospital?
well, listen, mushrooms,
Pretty much.
mushrooms done once have actually stopped a lot of people from smoking cigarettes or
Yeah.
any kind of other drug
I know,
addictions
I saw
I'm
because
that.
saying it's like miraculous.
yeah, well,
but
they're testing it in medical scenarios right now.
A lot of times they'll still go back to it. Like they'll take addicts and it'll work for like a little while and then they'll go back to it again.
Wait. Brandon, I have a question for you about Superhuman. Is that going to be connected to Aura Ring?
In the future, not now. So Oura Ring is actually connected to your Apple like fitness thing. So it would be
Yeah,
connected
I know.
to Apple Fitness. So it won't necessarily be connected to the ring, but it would be connected to Apple Fitness, and then it will run through Apple Fitness. But I don't want to focus on that right now. I want to focus more on people doing like strength training workouts and stuff. Nick sent me something this morning actually that showed an image of a 70-year-old person's leg who doesn't do any kind of physical activity, and then a 70-year-old triathlon's
I'm
leg.
sure that's-
And the leg for the 70-year-old who doesn't do any kind of like physical lifting type activity was basically majority fat and a tiny bit of like mangled looking muscle near the bone.
And probably
then
osteoporosis, too.
It was just bad. And then the 70-year-old triathlon athlete basically had no fat around it, and it was primarily muscle, but the muscle looks significantly healthier. Like imagine when you see, it's probably not a great comparison. Imagine when you see like a really good looking steak versus something that just got like something that's
Yeah.
mangled up and disgusting and has
Ew.
all kinds of like fat and like, and
Ew.
you're just like, I don't want to eat that. It's probably not good to compare meat to like
now
somebody's
I don't
leg.
want,
but-
now I can't eat
Well,
my
we're not
steak.
getting eaten.
Well, I'm just saying it holds your bones together, and you're gonna live a lot longer just because you actually took the time to maintain that muscle mass. What's the if you don't use it, you lose it, especially as you get older. So you don't want bone just wrapped in like mangled muscle and fat.
Right.
You want to maintain good lean muscle mass so you can actually walk around when you're. It's like those people you see on TikTok
anymore.
Why? What are you doing, Kennedy?
She started running.
You all know what I'm doing.
Running?
I'm on my runner journey.
What's your 1 mile
bit.
time?
I don't do that.
She's only done 10
This is how it
steps so
goes.
far.
That's not true. I have such horrible. The reason that I've never understood running and never wanted to do it is because I have such horrible endurance. But then I started thinking like, what if someone's chasing me one day and like I really want to be able to like run away? I don't like the feeling of being so violently out of breath after running for 30 seconds. And then also I've been doing these 5 mile walks where I like speed walk and stuff and I go fast, but it's not the same as running, obviously.
And we know
And
how
everybody's
fast she
running.
could speed walk.
Yeah.
and everybody's running past me, and so I got to a point where I was like, I kind of feel like running right now. So I started just jogging slowly, and now my goal with it, I guess, is just to build it up to maybe I could run the entire 5 or jog the entire 5 miles.
You know what this reminds me
But
of?
as of right,
You know what this reminds me of? The emotional scene from Forrest Gump when he has the leg brace and then he starts running and it falls off. That's Kennedy right now. That's Kennedy. But it's all the emotional fear and baggage of running just falling off. She's becoming a new
literally,
person.
because I was talking to Scarlett about this where I was saying I know everybody does this, but I definitely put myself in boxes where I'm like, oh, my whole life been this unathletic, uncoordinated girl who was horrible in gym class and horrible at sports, couldn't even ride a scooter, couldn't ride a bike. None of that stuff came naturally to me, so I just didn't do it. And now I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, so what if that's been the way I am my whole life? Like,
Well,
so what if I was always against?
Do you think doing more difficult things leaves you feeling more satisfied?
Well, obviously. I think like, yeah, we have to do difficult things, and I think like, yeah, we have to do difficult things.
Well, just like you basically told me that like when I started doing my own nails that you're like, look, see, you can do it. I feel like it's easy to tell yourself, oh, I've never been able to, so I can't. But like if you actually take the time and be patient and like spend the time trying to do something that normally you wouldn't be good at, you can do anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I'm tired of telling myself like, oh, but that's not me, or like this doesn't fit in with the whatever. And I really try hard to not put myself in boxes, but it's kind of inevitable as a human being. Like you just are. And now I get this like I get this satisfaction of doing things that I perceive as difficult or like don't really go along with how I see myself. And I never saw myself getting into running. And just being able to like tell everyone like, yeah, I started running and blah, blah, and shocking everyone in the feeling of surprising people and surprising myself. That's the thing. Surprising myself. I really like doing that. Mm-hmm. Because it's like we live with ourselves our entire life. You get bored. I don't want to be the same my whole life. I want to keep changing and keep surprising myself.
So the main reason you didn't do it before is because you felt like you kind of like identified in one way or something and you didn't want to change. It felt like you were in a box and like you had to remain the same type of person.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. But also, I didn't enjoy the feeling of running because my endurance is so bad. But then you can either look at it that way of like, oh, my endurance is so bad, I might as well just never even run. Or like, my endurance is so bad, I want to start running to get it better. And I feel like my mindset now in my mid-20s has shifted so much into like turning things to the positive rather than just being like, I can't do that, blah, blah. Like I saw this Instagram reel of someone being like, they like took a sip of coffee and they spilled a little bit of coffee on themselves. And then they were like, huh. And then they poured the whole thing on themselves. And it was like an analogy basically for, let's say you go outside and you step in a dog, you're like, well, I might as well go inside because now my whole day is ruined. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, your life is what you make it. That's it.
Why don't you roll in the dog embrace it?
Exactly.
There you go. There's a TikTok. You step in dog you embrace it and then you just start rolling in it.
If I stepped in dog be like, what motherfucker did not clean their dog up? I hope that they have a bad day, and then I go inside and change my shoes and go back out.
I have to say that there's nothing more annoying than stepping in dog. It really is annoying. Like, because you just smell terrible.
I saw a massive pile of dog on the sidewalk, and I'm just like, that is so, you are
a big dog
responsible for your dog's, that is your dog's excrement. Pick it up.
Unless it was a stray dog and it had gotten away from its owner.
Or another sort of animal.
There aren't stray dogs in New York, at least not that I've seen.
Yeah.
The stray dogs in New York are the giant rats.
Have you seen a giant rat?
I feel so bad for rats. Yes, I see them in the subway and I feel so bad for them. I'm like, they don't deserve this life. They're smart. They were forced into this life, forced to be living in like the dungeon of the world, which is the New York subway system.
I think they like it.
They probably do, but at the same time, they're like, I don't know. It just
They've
makes me sad. I
infinite.
just feel like
They've
rats.
like infinite food source because humans leave so much trash out.
Somebody should make a movie
I
like
would have a pet rat.
Bugs Life, but make it about New York City rats, where they talk and they're
That's
like,
literally
They probably already
Claudia.
have.
That's literally flushed away.
oh,
Well,
Isn't that
another
Ratatouille?
good emotional
Ratatouille
documentary.
is not about New York City
Well,
rats.
another good emotional
about a rat,
documentary
though.
could be like when the guy had the octopus and he became friends with it. There could be
Right.
a
Oh my
rat,
God, what
a
a
New
good
York
show.
rat version where the guy adopts the
Yeah.
rat.
That was so
and he
good.
trains it like a dog.
Yeah, and now I can't eat
Someone
octopus
needs to
anymore.
make a rat documentary.
Well, rats
tell you what,
rats have been
I
used
saw-
for testing for decades.
I know, that's sad too.
New York cats or Bodega cats are a different breed. I'm just not used to it because I've never been outside of America, and I know in a lot of different countries it's just so normalized to have a bunch of cats walking around. But that's something new for me since moving to New York, and every time you see them, they're the chillest cat ever. They just sit there. This one we walked past yesterday was literally sitting in the middle of the sidewalk watching people walk by. It had a little bandana on its neck. And I always like approach them with caution because you never know if they're gonna bite you. But it was so sweet and just like sitting there without a fear in the world. And I
Well,
was like,
obviously it's
imagining-
somebody's cat, right? Because it had a bandana.
Well, yeah, it's in front of a store. They go out and they let it do whatever it wants.
Oh wait, so it just goes out in New York and lives its life, but then it goes back and gets his bandana. Do you think the cats?
doesn't really-
do you
I
think the
don't-
cats see
I
like
think it
other
just
cats with
sits there.
bandanas and they're like, "You mother, you have an owner. Get the out of here."
There's not that many. There's just
They're not
There's
stray.
probably-
They all have owners.
I don't know. If I was a stray
No,
cat and I
that-
saw a mother come up in a bandana, I would up.
I don't know how they just
you
walk on the
wouldn't.
Yeah,
sidewalk
I
with traffic.
You are the stray cat.
How
That's
do
what I'm
they-
saying. If I was a stray cat,
Actually, you're a stray rat.
Claudia, you'd be one of those white, silky, like this
Yeah.
cat walk
Yeah, I
all
would.
slow and their tail's always up
Kennedy,
like this.
how do they not
But
get like
That's a
hit by cars?
compliment.
they don't go into the street. They're smart.
It's amazing.
They just hang out in front of whatever store they haunt.
yeah.
Kendi would be a cat that only comes out at night to hunt for its food and then goes back in, keeps itself safe. Mom, you'd be a black
Yeah, I'd be the-
black cat
I'd be
where
the
you
scrappy one that slithers against the walls that no one can see.
yeah. Mom, you'd be a black cat where you walk past, you're cursed for 10 years.
This is
The-
one of
the-
those
the witch
conversations
cat.
where people are going to be like, did you guys run out of things to talk about?
You know
Alright,
what?
well,
You're,
listen, the
you're still
answer to-
listening.
The answer to that question is always going to be yes on this podcast. People aren't listening. Anyone who listens to this, it's either because they hate us or they really, really like us.
Yep.
And listen, we appreciate both.
Sure. On that note, I'll read some messages.
Yeah, because I really got to pee. I'm also hungry.
It's long. We'll save that one. We'll save that
Well,
one.
I'm going to say one thing before you read that. I really am praying for people in Florida because this hurricane's insane.
Nick sent us something this morning about it, how it's like 200 mile per hour winds. But
Yeah,
out of
it's-
curiosity yesterday, I looked up because there's these storm chasers who will stand in the middle of the storm to get real time footage of it. So this was one from a while ago that was almost the same strength as the one that's coming, the Milton one or whatever. But it's so cool because at one point it goes by and then he was standing in the eye of the storm, and it's called the storm wall or something. And you just see this giant circular wall of the storm when you're right in the center of the eye, and everything else is completely calm and the sky's blue.
Yep.
And then like however long later, 20 minutes
Yep.
later, the other side of it comes through and
Yep.
just, it's so powerful. It's insane. Like
Yeah, I
you
know.
can't walk outside. It will pick you up.
Mother
it will pick you
Nature's
up and just
crazy.
throw you.
I know.
They
Horrible.
said this is the fourth strongest hurricane to ever hit Florida, and it's almost at the mathematical limit of what a hurricane can do.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jesus.
I know. It's going to be like, if it hits the way that they're showing, it's going to be the worst one they've seen.
So
in
how does that
history.
work? Does everyone has to pretty
It's
much
a
evacuate?
mandatory
All of-
evacuation right
what
now.
part
In
of
certain
Florida?
parts, like
Certain
like
parts.
Tampa Bay area.
Like complete
Like the middle.
evacuation.
Middle.
So there will be no people there.
There shouldn't be,
Yeah.
but
Where do they
Some
go?
people stay
here's
though.
what the
That's
officials
insane.
said this morning. If you do not leave your home, do not call us because we will not be able to help you during the storm. You will have to wait till the next day.
Yeah.
Yes. They're on their own.
Well, the crazy part is I remember
So they
we
just-
lived in Tampa for a little bit. A lot of
I
those
know.
houses are kind of like dilapidated and like
they're gonna be-
not the best.
they're
They're going
not
to get
gonna
torn
make it.
apart. So unless you're in like a
Absolutely.
concrete building,
Yep.
it's probably going to get torn to shreds.
Yep.
So what do? They just leave their house and it's going to be destroyed, and then what?
Yeah,
You
then
just-
they go
you
back
leave and you
eventually and
get a
rebuild.
hotel or
But if they
something.
decide to, no, she's saying afterwards.
Oh,
but like
yeah.
they shame to the people that are leaving their animals there, because they do leave
if you
animals.
can leave your animals, that's so
it's
sick.
disgusting.
That's so sick.
You're not a human being if you do that.
Well, what if you have a farm or something?
You take your animals.
How?
Yeah, that's your responsibility.
Yeah,
If
you
have a
should have
farm, those animals are
trailers
your
that they
What
can
if you have
fit
like
in.
80 cows?
Well,
You're going to herd them?
lock them up somewhere.
Figure it
I
out.
don't know.
Don't buy 80 cows if you can't transfer them in a hurricane.
Yeah, serious.
Also,
That's
I
a
don't
big
know
car.
how many farms there are in Tampa.
Not in Tampa, but like near there are a lot of farms. Corey's family has a farm.
Well,
Doesn't your
probably
family?
going more towards the middle.
Are they taking their animals?
They're not leaving.
They're not?
It's not. It's if you're
But
in
they're
like
inland,
a
though.
more inland. Yeah, it's not required.
So,
It doesn't
still pretty
matter.
close.
That's not what.
but not flooding.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter because it could still end up flooding, and they're more worried about the winds.
Yeah.
Wait, so what's the speed of a tornado?
This one that was
in
tornadoes?
comparison, like this can
same
get
thing.
up to 200 plus miles per hour.
It's same thing.
I watched- did
feel
you
like
watch-
a tornado's stronger?
That movie Twister, I think it's called, or something. I don't know.
Not the new one.
There's a new tornado movie out with Glenn Powell in it.
It's Twister,
yeah.
yeah. It's Twister.
I
Got
thought
a
it
good
was
rating
good.
though.
I
for
watched
Twister.
it.
Yeah, I
It
haven't
was pretty
seen
good.
No, you didn't, Claudia. Me and Jesse didn't even finish it. We all said it was boring.
No, you fell asleep.
No, I didn't.
We did watch it all.
We literally all agreed that we weren't into it and all got up and didn't even
That
watch,
was
like,
not.
finish the end.
That was not that movie because we did see the end of it.
You know,
And
a
me and
movie-
Jesse
you know a
were like,
movie I
"That was
watched
the end."
recently.
The end
What?
was disappointing. We didn't watch that with you.
Oh, right. No, I
It
did
was-
watch. Yes, you did.
What?
No, we
Go ahead.
didn't.
What?
This movie was called.
Yes, you did. We bought it.
Oh my fucking god! I think you're having a dream, maybe.
Stop.
Okay, watch this.
No,
I watched this movie called Subservience, right,
don't
with
know
Megan
that one.
Fox, and she's an AI robot.
Pissing me off.
Listen,
Ow, your little
it's
toe.
with
Me and
Megan
Kenny are having
Fox.
conversation and you're
No, you're not.
interrupting.
You're
You
arguing.
are arguing.
no,
You're,
because
you're coming
I
to no
finished it
conclusion.
because I remember the end of the movie.
Oh my God! Can
Kenny,
you do
I
this
think
when
you
we're
fell
off of here?
asleep.
But I can't believe you didn't think I was there. I literally
Corey, plug your
was
laptop in.
We had a conversation about buying the movie
Well,
several times.
then
And we all
it's-
decided to get it.
It must be because you fell asleep that I don't remember you being there because me and Jesse watched it till the end and I can specifically
Okay.
remember the end.
Whatever. Can we agree to disagree? Thanks. Next.
Okay, there's this movie Subservience. It has Megan Fox in it. She's an AI robot. The guy from who's the guy in all the sex movies that girls like? Beard, black hair.
The guy from 365 Days.
Yes, that guy.
Oh,
He's in
ew.
it. He's in it too. Okay, she's an AI robot. She's a housekeeper. He hires her because his wife got sick. She comes to his house to take care of his kid.
Okay, don't spoil it because this sounds good.
No, it's not.
It sounds dumb.
It got
The preview
it got
looked
It got a
terrible.
really bad rating. Ken, you might like it. Maybe watch it. But basically,
I probably would.
now I can't say it. Now I can't say what happened.
don't
I'm gonna
say
guess-
No, why are you going to spoil it for everyone if somebody wants to watch
because
it?
it's not that great of a movie.
Read the
What's the
question.
synopsis before it gets spoiled? Like when you watch the movie trailer.
You just gotta watch it.
That was
it's-
enough to say.
All right,
Read the
what's
It
it
just
called
reminds
again?
me of people who are going to end up
Subservience.
having with their AI robot. We were talking to Dad about this weekend. I have this big fear that people are just going to be AI robots constantly
Why
and
is
not
that a
having
fear?
real anymore.
Why is that your
Because there'll be
fear?
no babies.
Oh, you want?
Society is going to go
Wait,
down the
isn't it
drain. Huh?
No,
Wait,
it's
Brandon,
on like
no,
Amazon.
It's on like Netflix or Amazon or
It's
something.
on Amazon. You
Oh,
can
you
buy
bought
it.
Yeah, it's like $2.99.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, read a
This is
I
question.
think
right
there's
up
going to
my
be a
alley,
big problem of
personally.
people f***ing robots. Maybe not the audience that listens to this podcast. I don't think you're going to be robots, but a certain kind of audience out there is going to be robots constantly.
Well, then
Ugh.
maybe you need to become a
I have something else to say. Since you said you watched Monsters, I watched it and I can't believe it with the Menendez brothers. What's it? Menendez brothers. And now they're bringing it all back because they're like, it went like viral on TikTok with them saying that they should be out of prison because they were there for 35 years. I thought that was pretty interesting. And what do you think? You think they should be out?
I don't know because I can't base it off like a show really.
What's with these shows making like serial killers into celebrities? That's literally what they're doing.
Well, they were celebrities.
Yeah.
They turned into celebrities way back in the
When you were a
90s
kid?
when it happened. Yeah.
I don't know
Were you
because
a kid? No, you weren't a kid.
I just
I
think
wasn't a
if,
kid,
if that's
but-
really what happened to them, it's absolutely horrible. Like I can
Yeah.
understand why someone would be pushed to the point of wanting to kill someone that is literally blessing them every day of their life and like causing them so much trauma
Yeah.
and like the people that are supposed to be taking care of you and protecting you are literally like ruining you as a human being.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Why did Gypsy Rose and she became a celebrity?
Right, exactly.
Why didn't they leave when they were like college age?
Well, they said that they were just,
I don't know.
I guess, scared. I don't know.
They just wanted the money.
That's what people said. But
I don't know the story. I didn't watch it, so
I know that in some sick way, like kids that get abused like that still love their parents and like
they
don't
did.
wanna,
They said they still loved their dad
Yeah.
even after they killed him.
yeah, and mom.
Yeah, and their mom.
But I don't know. I don't know why they didn't. I mean, where would they go? I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
that maybe that's how they felt. I have no idea.
Or maybe he would track them down and find them. You don't know what he said to them or didn't say to them. Who knows?
I mean, in the show, he was very
All right.
scary.
Yeah, he
Okay, I have a
was.
question here. Okay, hi Walsh family. Just wanted to get your guys' opinions on age gaps. When do you think it's okay to start dating somebody much older than you? I'm currently 20, almost 21, and I've been seeing someone who is 31 for a couple of months now. We know it's not possible for us to get serious right now, and we're ending things. But with the possibility for reconnection in the future. What are your thoughts on this? I need help. Is this weird? So they have a 10-year age gap. She's 20. He's 31.
I think as long as you're of legal age, you can do whatever the hell you want to do with your life.
I think it's more of a maturity thing at that point, to be honest. Like if you're a mature 20-year-old, he could be a really immature 30-year-old, and then you'll pair up perfectly. You'll basically be the same age
I
mentally.
think age shouldn't matter as far as that goes.
I think it's hard to say unless you know the people because generally, like when you're 20 and 21, like I still had so much growing up to do that within a 5-year span. You really do change a lot. And someone who has 10 years of life experience on you might make you feel kind of like insuperior or like they're better than you because they're older, or maybe you desire them more because they're older. So it's like there's just so much that goes into it, and a lot of things that could make it maybe like not so great. I guess there are things that could make it good if you guys mesh well. I don't really know, but I just personally think I just think 20 is still really young, and you still have a lot of growing up to do.
I'm the queen of that one.
Yeah, mom, this is probably best coming from you because
I mean, all I ever
you've
dated, I
actually
just
done
kept getting
this.
more and more. It started at like 11, then it was 13 years difference, and then 15 years difference.
Yeah, but I
and
think
now
when you're a certain
Dakota's
age,
22 years difference.
Yes, but it's different because she's in her 30s. 20 versus 30, even 20 versus 25, like is a big difference.
Or 50 versus 30.
Yeah, but you're both fully developed adults. Like your brain is fully developed.
I mean, I think there's learning on. I just think everybody can learn from everybody. It doesn't matter what age you are. It matters what experience you've gone through in your environment growing up.
When I was 22, I talked to someone that was like 30 for not long, but I definitely think that would have never worked because I think he just felt something about him being that much older than me. It's fine. Something about him being that much older than me like made me feel like he had some like superiority over me because of that, and I just don't think that would work in a relationship.
Yeah, one thing I would keep in mind is that if you talked about having the possibility of reconnecting in the future or whatever, just I wouldn't let that limit you from talking to other people and doing your thing, because that could be dangerous because you could just be waiting around, and then by the time you know it, the dude has like a kid or something. So keep that in mind. Don't wait around for anyone.
Nope. You live once and you can die tomorrow. Make it count.
Oh, we lost Kennedy, folks.
Yeah, where
Too bad. Just end it without me.
Here, let's do one more real quick. Okay. Hey guys, first of all, I'm a huge fan of you guys. I really enjoy your content. I've been following for many years. Basically, my question is for all of you. My partner and I started a YouTube channel back in 2021, and over the last couple of weeks, we went from 700 subscribers to 70,000. That's crazy, which is well crazy. However, with all of these new subs and traffic on our videos, there are also some people leaving pretty hateful and judgmental comments about our work and us. Every time I read what they write, my anxiety rises to the maximum and I have to calm myself down for the whole day. How do you guys manage not getting too emotionally involved in such comments? I apologize if my English isn't perfect. I'm not a native speaker. That was the clearest written message that we've received. So
honestly,
much love from Germany to all of you. Angelica.
Turn off.
Thanks, Angelica.
Honestly, I
Turn
really,
the comments off.
whenever I get a hate comment, I like it can easily ruin my mood, and I just have to remind myself that like there's so many more people that follow you and like you than there are the people that dislike you, and those comments are going to stand out to you because they're mean and they get to you into your brain and make you feel terrible.
It could be, I don't know what the podcast is about, but it could also be
it's a YouTube channel.
Oh, that's why it grew maybe to 70,000 is because sometimes bad stuff travels quicker than the good. So they could be getting a lot of overflow from the comments, because a lot of times if somebody does a bad comment, you'll notice that they respond, and it always goes like to like a really long thread. And then more people follow and they want to read it and find out.
No, it's not the thread though. They have subscribers.
Yeah, but it can make people subscribe more.
In my opinion, if it's affecting your entire day, just simply don't look at it to begin with.
Yeah, you just have to pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, like don't read the comments. That's the easiest thing. Like you don't have to disable them if you don't want to necessarily, or you can, or you blacklist certain things that are like really bad or inappropriate. But just don't read the comments, because what's going to happen? You're going to read the comments and it's going to skew the type of content that you liked making that blew you up in the first place. So do not look at the comments. Turn away, keep making the content you're making. It's obviously working. You're getting subscribers. Don't let it get to your head. The way to do that is to not look at it in the first place. Done.
Yeah. Don't give them attention. The negative people always want the attention.
Don't fuel the fire.
So I just delete them. If someone writes something negative that I don't agree with or don't like, or comments on my life or how I do things, I just delete it.
I feel like if it's really that bad, I delete it, or I block them first. Then I delete it.
I'll just delete the comment, because I'm like, if no one sees the comment, the thread can't keep going anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, guys. Well, anyway, thanks so much for watching and listening. If you want to leave us a question, there's a phone number down in the description. Just send a text message to that, and we may or may not mention it on the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.